IVM.
You are the most valuable investment you will ever make. Hi, I'm Zarina Poonawalla, your leadership coach, life coach, and emotional intelligence coach. You probably know me from the Empowering series, and this is my new show, The Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawalla. I'm going to coach you to be the best version of yourselves. So get ready to create, attain, and manifest the life you've always desired and make it your reality. Hello and welcome to the Life Manifesto with me, Zarina. As a leadership coach, I often interact with leaders, right? And no matter which leader I interact with and whatever their style or their type of leadership, they all have one thing in common. In fact, not only the leaders, but also followers or employees or teams, they all have one thing in common. And guess what that is? Each and every leader, each and every teammate has the same stereotypes about leadership. They think that leadership has its own do's and don'ts. You don't believe me, do you? Okay then. Well, I'm taking this up as a challenge and I'm going to ask you to do something for me right now. Let's prove it right here. Just for a moment, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and picture what a leader really looks like. What qualities does a leader possess? Close your eyes and picture it. Just picture a leader in your head. Just your initial thoughts, so no need to cheat and no need to get deeper into this. Just imagine a leader. What qualities do you think come to mind? Well, I'm quite certain that some of you had a very vivid picture in your heads, didn't you? And some of you might have had thoughts on these lines, that leaders are supposed to be strong and they have very strong personalities. They're probably very outgoing. They can be intimidating. They can seem to have a little bit of an ego issue. They could also be very arrogant. People fear their leaders and so on and so forth. You see, there are different things that come to mind when you're thinking about leadership. But tell me something, when you're thinking of a leader, do you think of somebody who's weak or timid or introverted? Maybe not. It is so easy to misconstrue and have misconceptions of what a leader is and what a leader isn't. So today, let's address certain stereotypes and myths that actually surround leadership. Because if you don't break these, you will start questioning your own ability to lead. So before you do that, let's get right to it. The first one, or let's begin with the most common of all. Leaders are born, not made. The most common one, right? It's also a question asked in a lot of JDs, in a lot of debates, in a lot of conflicting thoughts and ideas. Leaders are born, not made. The most common universal myth in forever. Well, it is commonly assumed that all entrepreneurs are natural born leaders. You may have had your eureka moment, right? A brilliant idea and an absolutely seamless execution of it. But does that necessarily mean that you are born to lead? Or let's for instance take that you inherently took over your family business. Does that necessarily mean that you always had it in you? Sometimes you are just designated survivors. But yes, you can become leaders even in that situation. All you need is will and skill and learning. This is what makes leaders. Leaders are nurtured, they are fostered, and that's how leaders are made. So yes, leaders are born. There are people who have innate leadership qualities. I agree to that. But they are also bred, and they are bred beautifully. So change your mind about this first and most common myth that leaders are born and not made. Moving on to the second one. Leadership is a title. Well, leadership isn't necessarily about power and position. There might be someone in your organization who hasn't been given the title or designation, but has more qualities of a leader than the actual person leading you or leading the team. It isn't necessarily tied to a job description either. Leadership, in my opinion, is beyond title holding. And that also goes to show, in a way, how fickle leadership is in our minds. We associate it not by what a person is capable of, but by their power, their position, or their title. You might really want to rethink this one. another popular myth for you. It is that leaders can't fail. The only leaders who don't fail are the leaders who are filled to the brim with ego. You know why? Because they just won't accept it. They won't accept fear as part of the process. They will instead debate to deny it. You get me? Doesn't leadership mean that you know how to be successful and avoid failures? Not really, not quite. Leadership is embracing failures with a certain attitude and approach. It's creating the environment for a team where failure doesn't consume you. Instead, a leader knows that failing isn't the end, and a leader is willing to work on mistakes made by themselves and their teams. That's why leaders can fail. They're not always supposed to be successful. They have to fail in order to be successful. And leaders who embrace failure, learn from their mistakes, and move past them are true leaders. Then comes the fourth one. Extroverts are better leaders. This one is totally debatable, absolutely debatable. I have to safely say that because a lot of people have argued with me on this one. But here's my thought on it. One of the most stereotypical mindsets attached to leadership is that all leaders are extroverts. Or if you are an extrovert, you are a better leader. One of these two. Now, this automatically makes an introvert question their capabilities of leading, of being able to lead, doesn't it? So just imagine you're an introvert, or you may be. Why even imagine it? I'm kind of an ambivert myself. But just imagine that you have to be in a leadership position, but you're mentally conditioned to think that if I'm not a good speaker, if I'm not very great with people, if I'm not very extroverted by nature, I will be bad at leading. And so, even before you try, you step back. That's what happens. This is also another myth involved with extroverts, that all extroverts are typically good communicators or orators. So wrong, they're just so wrong. Extroverts sure know how to be in social settings. They're outgoing and they're highly interactive. Yes. And introverts, on the other hand, may just speak when spoken to, right? Or they might come across more shy or more timid. But truth is, it has nothing to do with confidence or leading at all. I know you might not want to believe me on this one, but you really should. I'm going to try and convince you. Being extroverted or introverted has more to do with how we process information, deliver it, and exchange it. That's what it is. Just because you aren't comfortable to be outgoing and extroverted doesn't mean you aren't cut out for leadership. Let me convince you further with some classic examples. Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, Dr. Manmohan Singh, Barack Obama. These are a few people who are introverted, claimed introverted by nature, but they're exceptional when it comes to leadership. Honestly, I think we are in the era of the introverted leadership, and that must be embraced wholly. So don't you doubt yourself. If you are an introvert, you probably are really, really strong. All right, so all my beautiful and impactful leaders out there, I hope that we've managed to debunk and decode a few leadership myths together. And while we've done that, let me tell you, I'm not done with these yet. So I'm coming back next week with a few more so that you understand that there are no stereotypes and no stigmas that you can't break or overcome. Meanwhile, keep leading. Thank you for tuning in to The Life Manifesto with me, Zarina. If you find the show useful, then please share it with your friends, family, and co-workers. You never know. You may just help someone become the best version of themselves. And if you want to align your life with some signature masterclasses, certification courses, and live sessions with me, go check out and download my app, Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawalla, available on Play Store or Apple Store. And if you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to share with me, get in touch with me on my social media handles. I am at Zarina Poonawalla on Instagram and LinkedIn, and at Zarina Speaks on Twitter. See you in the next episode.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says, Cyrus talks to journalist Amrit Raj about his new book, Indian Icon, a cult called Royal Enfield, and what inspired him to write it. On a show about crypto, Rohan asks comedian and artist Prasad Bhatt the question, can NFTs change an artist's life? Personhood legally means a rights-bearing body, but not all bodies have rights unless the law recognizes them as persons. On The Longest Constitution, Priya helps us understand what is a person. On The Habit Coach, Ashlyn answers a very interesting question. How can one become a better person when they feel broken? And on Marathi Kirkitun, Rajiv and Manik Deshmukh draws into the world of letters and sentimental value that they hold. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And do follow us on YouTube. We have a number of different channels. You can find them on ivmpodcast.com/YouTube, where you'll be able to take a look at all of the channels we have. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quarter, CoinSwitch, Kuber, Slay Coffee, Intel, and Oxfam India. Thank you so much. You make this possible.
If you're a cricket fan, check out Edges and Sledges, India's favorite cricket podcast.
The podcast focuses on Indian cricket, the IPL, and has a ton of banter both on and off the field.
We talk about the week's biggest cricket stories with current and ex-international cricketers, coaches, or sometimes just between us.
And it's hosted by me, DJ.
Me, Varun.
And me, Ashwin.
New episodes release every week.
You can catch us on the IVM Podcast's website, app,
or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Check out the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast.